Hello, my name is Gregory Pierre Garceau. I'm a voter here in the 49th Legislative District and 3rd Congressional District of Vancouver, Washington. And this is my cat. She's kind of has to be part of the action. But I'm recording this video because I think it's important that you actually see who the American people are, the white people who voted then and now. As a white American voter with Native American heritage that dates back before the Oregon territories of this state, Washington state, I come to you with a plea, and this is a plea to the primarily the four candidates who are leading the Democratic Party at this time with regards to trying to win the nomination for the President of the United States in 2020. As a concerned Democratic voter who has attempted to participate in the local Democratic Party and state parties for almost 10 years, I come from a very unique point of view. The party itself in the city of Vancouver, Washington, and the state have essentially excluded me from even speaking or making an attempt to get the party moving forward. I also served as a precinct lead at the last caucuses for Hillary Clinton, when we had almost a mile or two of Democratic Sanders supporters coming to speak and vote at our precinct caucuses in Vancouver of Clark County then. My issue stands from the point of view that all this president is doing is essentially trying to destroy what this country represents as a people, our national heritage, our national reputation, and Congress is just letting this happen. I feel like Pelosi has done what she could to get this stuff going. I represent one of the people. I'm just an average, everyday guy, 55 years old. I've dealt with chronic illness for more than 30 years. I've dealt with face-to-face discrimination from employers, co-workers, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a very high-functioning person who has a mental illness. Today, my new diagnosis is general anxiety disorder. Although 30 years ago, in 1986 to 1989, I was at that point diagnosed as a schizoaffective schizophrenia. Over the course of the years, I have done what I can to get modern medicine to support an alternative approach to medicine. And of course, they have to the degree that they can. The pharmaceuticals companies in this nation have destroyed alternative medication, and they only make more and more money from this country. They only make more and more money from those of us who turn on the TV, and the first thing we see on the TV is, well, you should get this medication or that medication. Well, we know that certain medications ended up just being money gain. They didn't care anything about the people they were serving. For example, let's look at the time when women were told that they should have hormones, because by golly, hormones to maintain your female style, you had to get good hormones, and that would show that you could be a proper woman or whatever. What they discovered in that whole process was that women took hormones, and guess what? Now we have this onslaught of cancer. Whether those are caused by hormones or not, that's not relevant to this point. But the only reason why I'm bringing this forward is because this is another attempt by the pharmaceuticals to make as much money off of the public as they can. Although modern medicine has valuable things that can help an individual grow and heal and recover. When I had my breakdown in San Francisco, California in 1986, my options were extremely limited because of the situation and because of the level of chemical imbalance I was undergoing at the time. But as a result, I decided, well, there are certain advantages that I can use in modern medicine, which I did. Used modern medicine for several years, and over the course of that 30 years, every couple of years, a new medicine comes out in an attempt to help my brain or whatever. But initially, what turned in from schizoaffective schizophrenia to chemical imbalance to now just having general anxiety disorder and being a surviving schizophrenic that doesn't really happen for people my age. I mean, most schizophrenics who have been diagnosed with that illness would be dead by now because of the lack of information about schizophrenia and mental illness. But I'm not talking here about mental illness. What I'm talking here about is the American people, the Congress, the United States Senate and House need to see who is supposedly in charge of this country. As the Declaration of Independence and the preamble to the Constitution states, we the people. That means we the people vote the congressmen, legislative representatives in all of our states and in the United States government. What we are seeing today is this President Donald Trump, who I would never call president, only in this particular situation. He is a sick individual. He suffers from severe mental illness. I mean, I can't say fully what's going on, but this man is sick. And he continues to do whatever he can to destroy what this nation stands for. The United States of America, the greatest nation on earth. If we continue to let this man destroy our reputation around the world, here at home, with his immigration policies, with his racist attacks on us, on the nation, on the people, then we aren't doing anything. This can no longer continue. Congress must pass whatever they have as soon as possible against this president. Get those impeachment papers to the U.S. Senate, where the president will be subpoenaed to serve a trial against him, because we Americans believe in our justice system. And being in our justice system, no one is above the law, not even the President of the United States. That's why our forefathers created impeachment. And I've been fortunate, or maybe not so fortunate, to live through 3 impeachments of presidents, all of them unsuccessful overall. Although some of them, I mean, impeachment papers were never passed when President Richard Nixon resigned. Impeachment papers were passed, but when the U.S. Senate went to work on those impeachment papers and have a trial against President William Bill Clinton, they discovered that there was only one real article impeachment that he had done, and we all know this, inappropriate sexual activities as the president, using his power or misusing his power without understanding. This president that we have now continues to spiel and talk about racism openly, declaring that, oh, I'm not a racist. Well, anyone who says that they're not a racist and the kind of policies, as Rachel Maddow, one of my favorite commentators, speaks, follow what they do, not what they say. This president has created lies about everything. He seeks to destroy our country. He has given or allowed foreign intervention from countries such as Russia to invade our most sacred of gifts here in the United States, voting. It's up to you, Congress. It's up to you, Senator Sanders, Senator Harris, Senator Warren, former Vice President Joe Biden, to unite this country today, now. There's no more time to just sit and wait for this president to continue to spew his negative hatred intended comments on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter, you guys need to stop this president too. That means he should, freedom of speech is also a great gift of this nation, but freedom of speech versus morality are two different things. This president, all he does on Twitter is spew immoral ideas. He has no sense of moral ideology at all, except for personal self-interest. The more you continue to allow him to spiel his comments on Twitter, the more you condone his presidency. And Facebook, you're as much as fault as Twitter. For you to let someone like Russian bots get into our Facebook program, one of our sacred ways of sharing social communication around the world. Facebook is an international network for sharing. Certain countries basically censor Facebook because it's so freedom oriented, it's so liberal based. But when you let dark forces enter into our comments, when you let bots get in and influence our election, as you have done, that's when we need to reconsider what freedom of speech means and how it reflects in this world. I am speaking to you here on YouTube. I'm going to present this video at YouTube I only have 15 minutes total to really say what's really important. But it's a free service, and I'm speaking about free speech. I also have a master's in transpersonal psychology, dual specializing in creativity and innovation and spiritual psychology from one of the most prestigious, liberal and progressive online universities in the country, in the world, which is Sophia University, formerly the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology. So all I'm asking is that these four lead candidates decide today who will represent the Democratic Party at this time and unite the resources together, pool those resources, because we're going to have one hell of a battle come 2020 against whoever the GOP throws at us. Thank you very much for your time. God bless America. God bless these United States. It's time now to act. Congress, Let's act. This is one person out of 250,000, 250 million people in this country. One man, one white man. I'm nobody. But I know that there's a lot of people who feel similar to how I feel. Thank you.